Yo, what's good people, it's Cactus, and in today's video, I'm going to be cooking up a drill beat. In the last few videos, I switched it up a little bit. I showed you a few different tips and techniques for effects, vocals, plus I announced the beat battle, but I know most people come to the channel for drill tutorials. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm not really sure what kind of drill beat I'm going to be making. I'm just going to start cooking up and see where it takes me. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so I'm going to be making this one from scratch, and I finally got my hands on Jade Ethnic Orchestra. It's a SIP plugin. I was going through some of the presets the other day and the sounds are just crazy, so I'd highly recommend it. Let me just go through some of them just to show you the sounds. So it's sick for them ethnic sounding strings. So I know we're going to make something crazy with this one today. Let's try some of these ones. That sounds mad. Maybe we can just record something in like that. Yeah, just keep it simple. That can be the basis, the foundation. I'll just record that in. Actually, with halftime, it sounds kind of cold. Just to keep us one layer. So it's just a couple sharp frequencies there that I wanted to take out. And I think I need to add something to the first layer. Alright, let's see what else they've got. So I'm thinking one of these pads, they sound a bit like impacts. So I think any of them would just fit perfect. I'm just gonna go with this sci-fi one. And then I wanted to try out some of these vocals as well. Some of the vocals sound hard. But what I think I might do is just copy counter melody and then pan one to the left, one to the right, and then I can either play them at the same time in somewhere like the hook, or I could alternate and have the vocals in one section and then it could switch to the strings, but I'll see when I start arranging it. Yeah, they sound cold with it. But it doesn't make sense to have them play all the way through, so I'll leave them out for now. And the thing with these drill melodies is you don't need to go too crazy with the chord progressions. If you look at this, all I'm doing is a C minor chord, and I've inverted the D sharp, and then the D sharp just comes down for these bits. So the basis of the track is real simple, and then even the notes in between, I'm mainly using semitones. That's another trick. If you use semitones, and what I mean by that is just a half step. So for example, D to D sharp or G to G sharp. That's how you add tension and create that dark atmosphere. But because we've got it in halftime, I might bring some of these notes back. I also like the sound of this vocal here. But what I'm going to do with that is just have one note. I'm going to have it kind of quiet, filter it out, and then just have a delay on that. And again, that's just going to come in every now and again. I can just use the basic delay for this one. Ping pong mode. I can adjust the input panning. Let's see what this sounds like. Yeah, I'm just treating it like a vocal one shot. Let's see if we can play with the pitch. See what it sounds like. Try it an octave up first. Might be a bit too much. Yeah, that sounds kind of cold. It sounds kind of weird by itself, but in the context of the mix. Yeah. The other thing which I think is going to sound sick for an intro is some of the percussion. So I just want to record something in like that. So with the percussion, I'm just making it more cinematic. This is only going to be for the intro. So by itself, it sounds like this. So it's all about playing with the velocity. So if you look, when it's hitting here, the velocity is up quite high, and then the other ones have just brought them down a little bit. But then this one, for example, comes back up. Let me show you what it would sound like if they were all the same. it just don't sound natural compared to this. See how much difference that makes? And then the last thing that I want to add instrument wise is just some more strings. And these are just to emphasize some of them. And I'll just place these at the end instead. So I'm only emphasizing a couple of the strings just to, it just makes it a bit more cinematic. I've got the count melody off for now. And then these are doubled up, same notes. Alright, so I think I've got enough instruments in there for now to make it sound cinematic. So I'm just going to start adding the drums. I like this last one, I'm going to use this one today. I think for the 808, I'm going to go with the fat and wide one. Probably my favorite one from the pack. Alright, so for the 808s, what I usually do is just start with the pattern. And I just kind of imagine the slides in my head. But I'm going to figure out the pattern first and then I'll add the slides to it. Alright, so I've got a simple pattern like this. So I'll figure out the slides and then I'll switch it up for the second half. So maybe one up here. And with the slides, I'm not just randomly placing them. Up here, I've just gone up an octave. I like the way that sounds sometimes. I like to use semitones or half steps, like I was saying before with the notes. It just adds a bit more tension. And then for the other note, this one, I'm just using a note that's already within the chord. So look, this is how this is sounding. Simple. And you see how all the slide notes sound right. I haven't gone too crazy with them. That's one mistake that I see beginners do. They think that just because they're adding slides, it's going to sound good. But most of the time, they'll just add slides anywhere. And even though the notes are in the same scale, it just sounds off. So try and go by ear. But this is another foolproof way. You can go up octaves, use semitones for tension, and then other notes within the chord. All right, so I've got my other notes now. One thing that you need to do if you're adding slide notes quite high up, like a few octaves up, is bring the velocity down, because these are going to be so much easier to hear on any system. So if you've got a loud slide notes that are quite high up, it's just going to sound weird when you play it on any system. Alright, so I've changed up the 808 pattern a little bit, which I'll show you in a second. Moving on to the counter snare though. It's just a fried one from my pack. This is the one that I use in my template. All these template sounds, these are mainly just from my pack. And just to save some time, I'm going to use one of the hi-hat midis from my kit. That's what I've made them for. That fits perfect. Actually, I might bring this perk in and then just swap some of these around. So I'll copy some of these notes and then swap it for the other one. I'm adding perks in now, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to play them all at the same time. So if it starts sounding a little bit busy, just know that when I start arranging it, I'm going to be alternating them. I think this little effect here is going to sound sick just landed on the snare, like here. Might just have to play with the time. I think that's about right. Then I want to add this perk, but I want some of them to be quite short. So I'm just going to adjust the envelope like this. Alright, so I'll play what I've got so far, and it is a little bit busy. There's quite a few perks in there, but once I start arranging it, I'm going to make space for everything. Alright, so I'm going to start mixing it, and then when I arrange it, I'll create a few new 808 patterns and then simplify everything. I'll find space for each perk. Alright, so I finished mixing and arranging the beat, and to be honest, this is one of those beats where I didn't really have an artist in mind when I was making it. I just wanted to create something cinematic. It's probably not one of the beats that I'd send out in packs to artists, but I'll play it and talk you through everything. So if it's looking a bit confusing, it's just because I've rendered the melodies to WAV files, and then I've added filters and automated halftime and things like that, but I'll talk you through it. So just the bottom strings for the intro and the percussion, just to get that cinematic feel. And then we've got a delayed drop here. I think they sound cold. I've used that kind of intro in a different tutorial, but I rate the sound. So not all the perks in. The vocal one shot. And you can see I've made quite a few different 808 patterns. So this one I went a bit wild in it. So then there's just a little breakdown, a bridge before the hook. And then everything for the hook. And then just slight variations of the 808. Just to switch it up. I don't know, I kind of liked it. And then it comes back to the verse. So I just left the counter snares out of this bit, and then everything just kind of repeats. And then when it gets to the outro, well, it's not even an outro, I just ended it with some of the strings and the impact. Just so it ends suddenly instead of fading out like I usually do. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope you were feeling the beat. And for anyone that's entered the beat battle so far, just remember that your beats need to be submitted by 12 AM. So from the time I'm posting this video, there's only 6 hours remaining. The deadline was Wednesday the 21st of April at 12 AM. I'm going to be announcing the winners on Thursday's video at 6 PM GMT. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to be reacting to people's beats, and then my guy P Loco is going to be helping me pick the winner. But yo, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.